Okay, guys, it's time to deal with the brakes. Okay, so let's deal with the front brakes, and then we'll go with the back. So I've ordered new brakes already, and I'll post it down below of what I've gotten. It's actually a fairly, keep in mind. So here's reality. Audi TT brakes, right? There are two different kinds, the front and the back, right? And that's fairly common for most cars. However, I've come to realize the front is fairly expensive. I've come across them from $60 to $80 a set, you know, for the left and right, and then for the back. The ironic thing is the back can go as low as like $14 a set, which is unheard of. I mean, I don't recall seeing my BMWs or my Porsches being that cheap and being that different. You know, I mean, from $14 to $20 there to like $60, $80 here. I came across, and you'll see the price. I came across a set in an Amazon, right? That's fairly cheap. So cheaper. I think it's 35 or something, 35 to 40 bucks. I mean, which to me is decent. All right, so that's what I'm going to put on today. I also bought, as you can see, there's a substantial amount of lip here, right? I bought a new rotor, okay? The only gotcha is my rotor won't come in for another week. And normally, if this car has already been registered and everything, I would actually wait a week and then do both at the same time. At least that's what I would recommend you. For me, is I need to get this this car registered, right? At the same time, I need to get rid of that brake light sensor. All right, and so what I'll do is I'll install the brakes for all sides today, so that way that error disappears. When I do the inspection, it's all going to be good, and then when the rotor comes, I'll show you guys another video where I'll take the whole thing out. I may take out the bracket. I've seen people not take out the brackets, but I'll show you that video, okay? The weird thing is unlike having an Allen key, this is a Phillips, which is kind of weird. Which I can definitely see someone, you know, stripping the bolt. Anyway, hopefully I don't, but we will see. All right. So first things first, let's take off this pin, which is just to pry it out, right? And then we will take a look at these two pins over here, which we can then lift the whole entire thing right out. Actually, I've just remembered something. So even before that, what I'll do is I'll take off the hood. I'll open up the hood and I'll loosen up the brake line. So that way, later on, when we press the piston, we're not going to pop any of the wiring. I've seen people do it. I've seen people not do it, but I've been doing it like that for so long. It's just a bad habit for me. All right. Okay, guys, now that I've got the pin off, the back here is just very similar to BMWs, right? They have these little caps on both ends. So you take them off, right? And inside, it's actually an Allen set. Unfortunately, mine does not fit. But what I did was I used the Star one instead. And this is a T45, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? So I've already loosened this one up already, so I'm going to do the same over here. Okay, and then all we need to do is take a flathead and we can pry this right out. All right. Okay, so these are what the pins look like. Okay, try not to strip these, obviously, because when you do, you're gonna have to buy a new one. All right, and the only thing left to do is just to pry it open. You see how it's already loose? Do it on both ends, and you'll see that it'll come right out. Now I'm doing this one-handed. Ideally, it's better to do it two-handed, so that way, you know, there's no problem. But you guys get the idea, right? I mean, I'm not gonna, there it is, almost there. It is much harder with one hand and a camera. But if you guys check out other videos, you'll see that it's pretty straightforward, right? And all we do after that is we take out the pads. Right, so let me do it, and then I'll show you. Okay, it took a little bit of a hassle, but I finally got it out, okay? And for these, all you do is just pick these off. Oh, there's a sensor. That's what's going on there. And for here, as you can see, this is actually still pretty decent, actually. But you know what? The line is gone. So you know what? It's cheap enough. Not a big deal. All right, this bad boy has a sensor right over here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can feel it right there. See it? So this is probably where the wear bar is, which means this is where it's failing. So that's good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out. I'm going to scrape these down a little bit, okay? Because I want to make sure that, plus, for these, let's see, I believe these are it, if I'm not mistaken. Here they are. Except that's not right. That's not right. So I'm hoping that these are the right ones. That looks about right. Right? Right. Okay, so these are the right ones. What I was going to try to show you guys is these. Okay? Make sure you rub it onto the sides. Make sure you rub it onto the back. Right? Because it helps it so that way it doesn't shake as much. All right? If your set doesn't come with these, I would recommend you buy a pack. It's roughly about $1 and like AutoZone and all that stuff. Okay? So it's worth it, trust me. All right, so let me disconnect the wire right over here. And by the way, this is the front driver's side. All right, just to give you a heads up. So let me do that, and then we'll start scraping this off and putting this thing back together. All right. So in order to get the new brakes on, right, we've got to compress the piston. All right. So if you guys don't have this set, I would recommend it. It's useful because you can use many brands. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this all the way in, so that way we have more than enough clearance for the new pads. All right. It's fairly straightforward. Once you guys have a set and you guys play around, you'll see. As long as you keep pushing this, it's going to come out. All right. Okay. So I've connected this back in. All right. I put the two brake lines in. The two brake pads in. Okay. I put this on, as you can see, because I pushed it all the way in. It makes life so much easier to put things back together. You see what I mean? So the only thing I need left is to line up the pins to make sure I put in place. After that, lock the reservoir back up, which is right over here, by the way. It's right over here. And then go into the car, press the brakes a few times, and this will then realign itself, and I will be in good shape. All right, that's how you do the front brakes. All right, later on, I'll show you guys how to do the back brake.